If you've ever wondered, what am I supposed to do with my undefined centers in human design? Like the ones that they say are really vulnerable to conditioning and the energies of other people, chances are you have at least one of them. And if you don't know how to use it, watch this video because I'm going to tell you what these undefined centers actually are, how to use them, and how not to use them. This is my chart, and I have all undefined centers. I'm what you would call a reflector. Now, these undefined centers by nature, I kind of view them like microphones. They're absorbing information and then they're putting it back out into the world. You can contrast that with these colored in centers, defined centers. They're like speakers. They're just putting this person's frequency out into the world. So absorbing energy in these white centers, outputting energy from these colored in centers. They are colored in, by the way, because of a channel. This is not a full channel. That is a hanging gate, and also not what this video is about. There are 9 centers in the human design system. You have the pressure centers, the head, and the root. This is pressure to think. This is pressure to do. You have the awareness centers, the spleen, the ajna, and the solar plexus. The spleen here is going to bring awareness of safety, health, and vitality. The ajna up here is going to bring awareness around certainty and the environment. And the solar plexus is awareness of emotions, also spirituality and relationships. Next, we have the 4 energy centers, which this is where all the energy to do stuff comes from in our body. We have the sacral, the granddaddy right here. This is sexual creative life force. Then we have the heart. This is will. This is work hard, play later. This is prove yourself. Now we have the solar plexus, which doubles as an awareness center and a motor. This is the energy to confront the truth. And then this root, which is a pressure center also, pressure and energy. It's the energy to move forward. Next, we have the identity center, which is right here in the G. This is where love, identity, direction comes from. And then the throat, which is where everything is made manifest. So that's what the centers do. But let's talk about them in an undefined way, and specifically a healthy, not healthy fashion. The undefined pressure centers are here to recognize who's thinking, who's inspired, who's stressed out, who's running behind. That's the healthy version. The unhealthy version is they're rushing themselves, or they're trying to solve everybody else's problems. They're doing things to try and relieve the pressure that's coming from the external world, not acknowledging that it's coming from the external world. And just because they feel it doesn't mean they have to act on it. Next, we have the awareness centers, which in their healthy manner is picking up information about how other people are healthy or not healthy, how other people are either in reality or not in reality, whether they're certain or not certain, whether other people are in emotional waves or exhibiting emotional energy. Again, it's the recognition of the awareness, not necessarily the identification and the idea that oh, I don't feel safe, so I must do something, or oh, I'm having these weird thoughts, so I have to act on them, or oh, I'm feeling these emotions, I have to process them. The beauty of an undefined center is that you're going to be able to pick up shit from other people, but you might have to get good at putting that stuff down. Otherwise, you turn what is a playground and a temple into a prison cell. The healthy version of these undefined awareness centers, they're recognizing who it doesn't feel safe, who doesn't feel certain, who is feeling their emotions. If they're exposed too long to other people's awareness and you're not checking in with yourself, the undefined spleen may find it challenging to let go of things that are not good for you. The undefined ajna will try and convince people of its own certainty and the originality of its ideas. And the open solar plexus, undefined solar plexus, they're different. This is undefined. It has activations. The undefined solar plexus here has a tendency to avoid the truth, also avoiding conflict. Next, we're going to talk about these motors. The healthy, undefined sacral knows who has energy, who's excited, who's aroused, who's frustrated, okay? It knows about other people's sacral responses. This can sometimes make it challenging to know what you have energy for. But if you're aware that this center will always be picking up on other people's shit, you can catalog everything you feel in here as having a possible source outside of your body. That will make it easier when you find the sacral hit that has a source inside your body. In an unhealthy context, this sacral doesn't know when enough is enough. It will do things when it doesn't have energy, and the things that it does have energy to do, it will not do them. Then we've got the heart over here. A lot of people look at the heart as like the center of love, but it's like will and perseverance. It doesn't give a fuck. It just keeps going. It keeps pumping. The undefined heart is all about recognizing things in the material world. Oh, that person's in charge. That person's delivering. That person's the best. That person was first. In an unhealthy way, the undefined heart is trying to prove itself and it's trying to compete with others. Next, we have the identity center, the G. The G is your nucleus. It's the core of who you are. And for somebody with an undefined G, it's like, well, what is my core? Who actually am I? And the answer to that question is you are whoever you are around. In a healthy way, you know how to put on masks and take them off. There's not this obsession with who am I, who am I, who am I? The things that I do and my direction and the type of love I get determines who I am. That's not for me to answer as someone with an undefined G. It's really more about who are you? And are you following your strategy and authority? Are you being authentic to yourself? Or are you, like so many people, looking for something that isn't actually there? Because with an undefined G, the sense of love and direction usually isn't there. In an unhealthy way, the undefined G is constantly looking for direction, love, and an identity from the external world. So they're over-identifying with the things that they do, or the things that they like, or the people that they hang out with. And last but not least, let's talk about the throat right here. Now, this is the hot topic. Manifestation, everybody. Manifestation. It's not what you think. Most people view manifestation through the lens of law of attraction, meaning you attract the things that you think about. That's not manifestation. Manifestation is you having something inside you that is then manifesting through your throat. Okay, you are actually participating in the co-creation of it. That then activates the law of attraction, and whatever it is you are, you will attract things that are in resonance with you. For human design, all of the energy, all of the awareness, all of the pressure compounds into this throat. The undefined throat has a hard time knowing what the right thing to say is, when the right time to say it is. It can also be challenging to know whether or not you have the thing. If you use the undefined throat, what it was meant for, which again, all undefined centers are here to recognize what's happening in the external world, you can avoid sticking your foot in your mouth, because in an unhealthy way, the undefined throat will do shit just to get attention. So let's run through this one more time in terms of themes to look out for. Trying to solve everybody's problem? Not self-head. You're trying to rush through things just so you can relieve the pressure? Not self-root. You can't cut things away that are not good for you. You're holding on to shit that's not good for you. Not self of the undefined spleen. You're trying to convince people you're certain, not self of the ajna. You're trying to avoid truth, not self of the solar plexus. You don't know when enough is enough, not self of the sacral. You're trying to prove yourself and competing with others constantly and burnt out, not self of the heart. You're trying to find love and identity and direction from the outside world, not self of the undefined G. You're doing shit just for attention, not self of the throat. Yeah, so basically, you're either appreciating the rest of the world or you're feeling inferior about yourself because there's something happening in the external world that you don't necessarily do very well. So when you move through that insecurity, right, you can come to a place of appreciation of the things of the world that are happening that you can't necessarily do for yourself. You go from being somebody who is all take, to somebody that can actually contribute something. Even if the only thing that you're contributing, like me, is the acknowledgement and the recognition of, oh yeah, that's valuable. And that's fucking shit. Because some things I'm like, that's shit too. Like those people who stole my face and remixed my face for AI to try and sell their app, that's shit. Meanwhile, this neutrino design web version, which is not out yet, is freaking awesome. I'm so pumped about this, guys. Like, you have no idea. I can't wait to make more videos on this. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this video. If this helped you, please let me know in the comments how that helps to help me in what questions I answer. And I have been getting a lot of questions about like, oh, I have undefined centers. Does that mean I'm broken? Absolutely not. I'm all undefined centers. And while I may not be completely sane, I definitely enjoy the fuck out of my life. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace.